I just want to take a couple minutes to share with you just the impact that you're being here and how the impact Shout Out Loud is going to have on Canvas Health and our community and our neighbors. I spend my day talking to our providers at Canvas Health, talking about the work that they do, the impact that they have on their clients, how they grow through treatment, through intervention, in crises, things of that nature. A little bit about Canvas Health. We've been around for 49 years. Year 50 is next year. We're very, very excited about it. We've been around 49 years. We have 7 locations in the metro. We serve about 11 counties, and we offer a really broad array of services. We have something over 35 programs spanning crisis services, counseling, chemical health, psychiatry, and other social service programs like sexual violence education, services for seniors, and housing for the seriously and persistently mentally ill. We pride ourselves on trying to serve all of our neighbors who need help regardless of their insurance or their socioeconomic status. We're a mental health center that is community-based, and we're really proud of that. The community-based approach really centers and guides all of our work, including our crisis services. We operate mobile crisis teams in 8 different counties in Minnesota, in the metro, but also up through rural areas, all the way up almost to Duluth. And those mobile crisis teams are something we're really proud of. What mobile crisis teams look like in practice is that someone calls our crisis line. It might be someone in crisis, it might be a friend, it might be a family member, like a parent. And then through a triage conversation, our Canvas Health mobile crisis team member talks to them, and one of 3 things is going to happen. The first thing that might happen, 75% of cases, they're able to answer questions, offer support, and actually stabilize the person on the phone, which might be walking through a safety plan that person already has, the person who's in crisis. And then actually set up a plan to call their counselor either that day, or if it's at night, the next day, and set up an appointment to get them further stabilized into the coming weeks and coming months from that episode. The second thing that might happen, in 25% of our cases, we have a triage phone call, a conversation. We say, look, we need to send a Canvas Health mobile crisis team member out to that location where that person is, most likely to their home. From there, we can assess the risk. We can provide counseling, teach coping skills, and then develop that safety plan. And again, that safety plan helps a person in crisis avoid dangerous situations in the future, know the resources and supports for the next time they're at risk to fall into crisis, or when they're actually in crisis. And the third thing that might happen in a really small percentage of cases where a person is a danger to themselves or others, that's what we call emergency services, to help that person out immediately in that moment. That's typically in less than 2% of the calls we get. So the real point is we try to avoid that escalation, that move to more restrictive care. And that's because we at Canvas Health, from the fundraisers and the people in marketing and development, stuff like that, like me, to the actual providers that pour their hearts into this work, we want our clients all to be happier, healthier, and have a brighter future. And so, for a person in crisis, what it looks like to have a happier, healthier, brighter future, you need a good counselor that cares about you. You need a counselor that's going to lead you to really good, strong outcomes. And you need to be kept out of that restrictive and expensive trip to the ED, to the emergency department. The power of mobile crisis teams is also universal, whether you're in an urban, whether you're in a suburban or a rural area, because whether you have barriers that are, to receiving help, or stigma, or lack of access to transportation, or the immediate disorienting effects of being in crisis, no matter the barrier, Canvas Health mobile crisis teams can do their great work because we meet people when, where, and how they need it. We're driven to serve all from our community, regardless of a person's means or diagnosis. Clients of our mobile crisis teams are among the largest users of Canvas Health's sliding scale service fees, and your support helps make their care possible. And so thank you very much. It's really important to help the most vulnerable in our communities. So your support today for Shout Out Loud, NAMI, and Canvas Health funds crisis interventions like our mobile crisis teams, but also all the tough ongoing work that helps prevent people from falling into crisis in the first place. like our counselors who do the daily work to help people work through their struggles and diagnoses, like our housing staff who keeps roofs over people's heads that have serious and persistent mental illness, like our sexual violence advocates that respond to Washington County hospitals, like our therapists who present in the community to wear down the specter of stigma that prevents so many from asking for help. So again, thank you. I'm Logan Adams from Canvas Health. Thank you all for being here. I wish you all a happier, healthier, and brighter future. So thank you very much.